Infinite was totally wasted in Sonic Forces. That's not an unpopular opinion or anything, but it is my own and I want a chance to throw it up on the wall too. This video isn't going to be me rewriting the story of Infinite, but just giving my opinions on how the character maybe could have been handled, or even improved. Infinite is a Mobian Jackal and former member of the Jackal Squad, a group of terrorist mercenaries that one day raided Dr. Eggman's base. Little did they know, Eggman possessed the Phantom Ruby, a gem so powerful it could distort reality, create pocket dimensions, and even black holes. Eggman used this gem to make quick work of the Jackal Squad, although Infinite managed to get through and come face to face with Dr. Eggman, where eventually the Phantom Ruby revealed Infinite's true intentions, which Eggman also saw, an appetite for chaos and destruction. So Eggman, Infinite, and the rest of the Jackal Squad teamed up and formed a partnership, working together to realize the vision that the Phantom Ruby showed them. I think the writers could have done more with Infinite rather than making him Shadow 2.0, because his main motivation is becoming this ultimate, perfect, limitless being hell-bent on destroying the world and killing the old version of himself, because that person he used to be suffered a great loss due to his friends getting fucking murdered by Shadow the Hedgehog. Which is a little ironic, but like I said, we already got this story with Shadow before, but Shadow isn't such a linear character. We saw him face the trials and realize maybe the answer isn't getting revenge for his best friend's death, because more loss and destruction won't solve anything, nor will it bring Maria back. My point is, Shadow had this huge turning point in character development where he let go of his past, his anger and that loss, and is in my opinion the most developed character within the Sonic universe. I just wish we saw more of this deep writing with the newer stuff, and that wish was pretty much granted with Frontiers, but it had its flaws as well. But I might need to address that in a separate video. I don't know. We'll see. But Infinite deserved to be more than a one-off copy-paste villain. We could have built upon his hunger for destruction that we saw in that prequel comic. Or maybe what led to that. Chiseling away bit by bit and trying to define his character more. The writing wasn't the only problem with Infinite and Forces. The game's core mechanics and level design definitely had an influence on the outcome of his character in that game, especially his boss battles. Infinite's boss levels in the game were so uninspired and lazy, and I'm not going to pull my punches here because boss fights in a game should be absolutely epic. It should leave you shaking in your boots or fiending for some more. Like Frontiers. But it was so similar to every other boss fight in the game and feels like the goddamn Zaz boss fight from Sonic Dash, but next gen. I don't know if I already said this, but they had literal endless possibilities. But seriously, he had the Phantom Ruby. We definitely could have gotten something better than just holding the boost button down and then using the homing attack. I mean, look at past Sonic games. They had amazing boss battles that actually required you to be quick and accurate, and maybe even strategize. Maybe. But here's Infinite, but giant. I'm going to try and end this off on a positive note. They did a lot of things right with this character, like the build up for the release of Sonic Forces and this fucking banger of a theme song. His mask design and overall vibe reminds me of Enerjack from the Archie Sonic series. Now, Enerjack is another video on its own if Ken Penders doesn't RKO me. Does he even own the character? I don't know, but that's besides the point. Where was I? In my opinion, Infinite would have been a good excuse for SEGA to bring back Hypersonic, since the Phantom Ruby can apparently knock the super out of Supersonic, but maybe the Super Emeralds and Hypersonic could have been the only force that would have stood up to him. But we know that Sonic didn't even need his super form to face Infinite and the Phantom Ruby, mostly because the Phantom Ruby that Infinite had was a prototype and not the real Phantom Ruby, which was hidden inside of the huge creepy tentacle mech that was inside of the Death Egg robot that did have the real Phantom Ruby, but apparently nothing beats the power of friendship. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. The game came out in 2017. I was still in high school at the time, but maybe it's time to take a page out of Shadow's book and Move on from the past. Nah.